Okay, now we're recording. Thank you, Rebecca. All right, you're going to see this page. The login is up there at the top, SAC Dictation homepage. All one word, .pbworks.com. Don't just Google PBWorks, because that won't take you to the right place. That won't take you to our class page. You have to go into this SAC Dictation page, put it on your, put it in wherever you need to put it to remember it. Okay, so you request access, and then after that, after you've requested it once, you don't typically see the login page again. It will typically take you straight to the front page. On this computer, I have not logged in yet, so I'm going to do that, although it should take me there because I've already requested access. Let's see if it works. Oh, I misspelled Alamo and it didn't like it. Okay, there's the front page. Okay, this page, this site has billions of pieces of information on it that you can use, materials that you can use to practice with. This is where you go for practice. This is where you go for testing. There is, I can't tell you how much stuff is on here. There's your welcome. There's your announcements. She puts announcements there. I put announcements on Canvas. Pay attention to announcements. They change periodically. They don't always stay the same. Right now it says speed building classes will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with testing on Thursday. That's new this semester. We will not test on Wednesday. We will test on Thursday. Put that in your calendars and remember it. And then it's got Ms. Irvin and Ms. Woodard's contact information. It's got information about a scholarship. The time is running out on that. Today, I guess, is the last day for that. So if you're interested, get it in. You must have access to a scanner. You're going to see that again on Canvas. Some of the stuff that you see here, you're also going to see on Canvas. Track your progress with the new scorecard. In your packet, you've got a picture at the very back of what this scorecard looks like. This is yours. This is for you to use. If you don't like the format of this one, create your own. But find a way to keep track of your test passes for yourself. I keep track of it, and I tell you, this is your second pass, so go ahead and move to the next speed. But you should know that ahead of time, okay? Because moving up is determined by passing 2 tests. In Lit, if you pass 2 40s, you're ready to go to 60. This is a chart. Come on in. This is, I'm sorry?
Ms. Dean's class?
Yes, all classes are in here right now. Come on in. Pick up a packet. This is just a chart for you to keep track of. She's got a copy of it there that you can download. There's a copy of it on Canvas that you can download. And then it's got information about the degree plans. It's got just some general requirements of NCRA. It's got some library reference link, several other links, written test information. Theory classes, you don't need access to those if you're not in the theory class, although if you can get access to the class that you were in. If you were previously in a theory class, you can get access to that, and should if you need, because questions come up. Then you have spring. We're not going to go there yet until I go down the rest of the home page. You will notice that there are winter, fall, summer, May, spring, fall, summer, all the way back to 2011. There is dictation on all of those pages for every single speed. You do not get access to the tests that are there, but you can ask for access to the dictation pages if you run out of material to practice with. Do not practice with test material ever. But you are welcome to go to any of those pages and request access to the dictation pages. And then sight writing practice. And then there's a whole slew of other practices. It tells us down here when you're on here. So we do keep track of, we do know when you've been on here. And we use that, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So let's go now to spring. This is the main page for this semester. You will see the same picture here that you see on what is going to be the SAC pack when I get it. I haven't got it yet. And you will see the same thing on the page of Canvas that is used for your test uploads. Ms. Woodard will talk more about that when she gets here. Quick links to information. There's just some information there for you, for helpful ideas and helpful thoughts and links for you. Spring dictation is here. Eclipse basic training is here. These are Eclipse videos. If you forget how to use Eclipse, Eclipse hints. This tells you how to do almost everything you need to know. This is full of links that tells you how to do whatever it is you need to know how to do. I don't know how to save as a PDF. It tells you right there. I don't know how to do whatever. It tells you right there. So learn what's in there and use it as you're needing to. This is your testing site. You will not see anything here until Thursday morning. On Thursday morning, you will see week 1. This week, yes, there will be tests this week. You will see, if there are any preview words, they'll be listed up here. They're not always preview words listed. If not, that's okay. Wing it. However, if there is a preview word, a name for example, I'm going to look at it when I'm grading your test, and if you misspell it and it's on the preview words, it's going to count it, it's going to be wrong. If it's not on the preview words, I'm not going to count it wrong. Okay? Does that make sense? Because names are tricky. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. If they're not there and you misspell it, I'm not going to know what the right spelling is because I'm hearing the same thing you are when I'm testing, when I'm grading. But if it's on a preview word, if they're listed as a preview word, then I'm going to count it wrong if you misspell it. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that? Okay. Then you're going to see, and 40s, you won't see much to start with. In fact, some of you are not even going to start testing right away. But when you do start testing, you may or may not see all 3 parts. Sometimes you will only see 2, sometimes you will only see 1, but that's okay because you're learning how to test. We know that. So don't worry about it if you don't see all 3 tests, just do what's there. We're trying to get them all filled in, but sometimes we're not there yet. 60s should always be there. Sometimes 60s will be 3 minutes and sometimes they'll be 5, but there will always be 3 tests. There will be a lit test, a jury charge test, and a testimony test. If you're at 60 in all 3 speeds, you will take those 3 tests one right after another in whatever order you want to take them. If you are at 60 in lit and 80 in jury charge, you will take the lit test at 60, the jury charge test at 80. Maybe you're already at 100 in testimony, then you'll go take the testimony at 100. Whatever speed you are in that particular test, that's where you go. Do y'all want me to stop or you want me to keep going with this?
No, go ahead.
Okay. That's the testing site. Do not access the testing site until Thursday morning. There is a return to homepage button right here. It takes you back to the very beginning, and it's going to tell you the site's not secure, but it really is, so go ahead and go there, even though it's not recommended. The word wiki is something that the internet doesn't think is secure, so that's going to take me back here. On the 4th, 8th, and 12th weeks of the semester, there will be extra tests every day. It looks just like the testing website. Testing link, except that there will be a different test posted each day. Ultimately though, and I'm going to tell you in a minute when I get to the Canvas exactly what I mean by this. On week 4, it looks exactly the same as the testing page, right? Monday will be a lit test posted for every speed. Tuesday will be a jury charge test posted for every speed. Wednesday will be a testimony test posted for every speed. This is only in those 3 blitz weeks, and I'll remind you when it's blitz week. You can take the lit test on Monday and post it. You can take the jury charge test on Tuesday and post it. You can take the testimony test on Wednesday and post it. By post it, I mean put it in Canvas. And if you'd rather take them all at once as one test, like you do on the Thursday test, wait till Wednesday. They'll all be there on Wednesday. You can take all 3 of them at the same time and post it as one posting in the Wednesday test, blitz test. Okay? I'm going to go over that again in a minute. Just wanted to touch on it right now. That's blitz week. All right? There's a 4, 8, and a 12 blitz week. Then you have Friday. Every Friday you have an extra test. The Friday test is just that, an extra test. You can take it or not. It will be posted on Friday sometime during the day. There is not a time frame for when it gets posted. Just keep looking. If you're anxious, just keep looking. It'll get there, trust me. You have until Sunday night to turn it in, so don't stress over it, but you post it to the Friday test. On Friday, you only get one piece. You'll get a lit test this Friday. Next Friday, you'll get a jury charge. The Friday after that, you'll get a testimony. That's the Friday test every week. Then you're going to see later on the orientation video posted here. You'll see the spring schedule posted here. Those are not there yet for obvious reasons. And then you have, if you're in the legal terminology test, any of these other classes, they'll be posted here. High-speed dictation is down here. More information there about high speed, but your spring dictation for most of you will be here, and you'll notice that Ms. Dean gets her own page. Everybody else gets 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, whatever you need to take. Ms. Woodard gets her own page too. Whatever speed you want to practice with, you go there and you will hear the dictation they did that day in class. Okay? The only reason we didn't put names on all of them is because we've got some new instructors in this semester, and sometimes a different teacher will teach it for some reason, and it's just less confusing to you to see the speed rather than the teacher's name. All right? Any questions about the wiki? That is basically it. Just know that it is chock full. And I cannot emphasize that enough. You will never, ever run out of practice material on the wiki. But always remember, if you haven't requested access, do it today. Then you'll have it. Do it as soon as possible. Any questions?
We need to double check if you're looking at students in here.
Double check.
Theory students, they should be over the
Are there any?
Are there any theory students in here?
beginners.
If you're a theory student, you don't need to be here.
No, you need to be in room, I'm sorry, theory we're going to have to talk about the room and things.
Even though this will be your room.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, theory is in 315 right now.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Your
So you've been
first
sitting
theory
here all-
class. This is your
all day.
first theory class. You don't need to be here.
All confused.
If you're in the 40-60 class, but you're not finished
If you're
with theory, you
40 on
stay here.
above, you stay here. Okay.
All right, any questions about the wiki? If not, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Woodard and let her do her thing, and then I'll come back to you about Canvas when she's finished.
Welcome. Sorry that we're running late this morning. As usual, there's always things that of an administrative nature that have to be taken care of and swept clean and all that sort of thing. So hopefully we got all that taken, we got that done. And
Make sure the camera is facing.
yes, is the camera
I've got the camera facing the wall.
okay? I don't
It's
like
hard
it
to
on
move.
me.
It's hard to
because-
move. Those cameras don't move easily.
I don't like it on me, but anyway. Can you see me? Okay. Can you hear me now? No. Okay. We want to welcome everybody for the spring 2020. This is a new adventure for all of us in the new century, and is that right? No, new decade. Okay. New decade, and starting a great adventure together. I want to let you know, first of all, that we have just discovered, it just came to me at 4 o'clock in the morning about 3 days ago, that we started court reporting here at San Antonio College in 1970, and this is 2020. This is our 50th year. And so we're going to have a huge, we're going to have a huge celebration. I've already started my initial conversation with Dr. Vela about what we can do as far as having whatever, a nice party of some kind. And I mean, that's a pretty astounding record, actually, because a lot of the way the schools are closing and the way things are going in our day and time, to be in offering this to students for 50 years, I think is quite an accomplishment. So you're part of a legend, and you're in part of an area that we're just going to go forward and have great adventures together. Couple of cleanup things I want to just talk to you about. I am not going to do a SAC Pack this week, and I'm not going to do it simply because we only have tomorrow dictation, and then on Thursday, because you did tell them we changed the schedule so that you have dictations on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You have dictation class on those days, and then we changed the testing to Thursdays. Hopefully that will not disrupt anybody's apple cart. We felt like that was really the best use of our time, to give you all the dictations leading up to that, so that then Thursday you concentrate on testing, and then Friday also on the extra tests. You would have that time for that. And so we're hoping that that will help a little bit. It was kind of disruptive, I think, to have Monday, Tuesday, and then test, and then have Thursday. I don't know, some of you liked it that way, I know, but hopefully you'll like this way equally as well. We are in the process of, again, trying to renew our contract with Real Time Coach. That comes through a separate money grant type of thing, and so we are trying to get that going. So it's a possibility, if you've used Real Time Coach before and you want to still use that, just we'll announce that that's going to be
that
available.
is definitely something that we will let you know about, because if we get it, it'll be a huge resource. Yes.
So what is SAC Pack?
The SAC Pack, those of you that don't know what the SAC Pack is, it will be sent out. It is actually the dictation that we use in class. It will be a complete jury charge, a complete literary, and a complete Q&A. All right? And it's the hard copy of what we will dictate to you. Now, in the high-speed class, it only lasts one day. But for the lower speeds, sometimes you can work on that all week long.
I talk about it when I get to Canvas.
Okay, and she'll talk about it when she does get to Canvas, about what it actually is. It also will have other things in it, practice hints, words from other court reporters. You know, it's just sort of it's actually our textbook, but it's a weekly textbook. And I prepare that for you, and it will be available through Canvas every week. All right, but I'm not going to do one this week, simply because we're just running short on time, and I don't think we'll get through any of that. I'm also going to not do a test on Thursday. Now, if you are at a crucial point, this will differ for the high-speed students, but if you're in a crucial point and want a test, maybe you just need one more, just let me know and I can send you one. But I'm not going to do an official testing structure this week. I mean, it's just tomorrow, it's like Thursday, and you're just back. And so, but I will post a test on Friday. There will be an extra test posted on Friday. So no actual mock tests on Thursday, but you will have a test on Friday, and no SAC Pack this week. Okay? Does that Did anybody have any questions? Because I may be talking in language you don't
Well, and I'm gonna
understand.
talk
And please,
about all those things again.
and-
So
yeah.
I'm gonna talk about all those things again, so
okay,
don't worry
okay,
about it.
good, good. I do want to let you know that we have like 60, I think the last count was 63 or 64 new theory students. New theory students this semester. We have a good day program, a good night program, and a great online program. So we are growing. And as you've known, we've been growing. And we've experienced growing pains and had, a lot of things that we've had to revisit and do and regroup on. One of the new things is that we were able to hire 3 new instructors. One of our new instructors is right here. This is Lisa Ward, and she will be the 40-60 instructor in the day. Sachiko will be our 40-60 instructor at night. Rick will have the theory at night, and also then Cecilia Nethery will be our 80 to 120 whatever at night. These are also accessed online, and of course you can get their dictations again through the wiki. So we're excited about that. Another new change has been that I now have help. I have a co-coordinator. And so Ms. Irving will be the co-coordinator. Our division of duties is pretty well delineated. I will still be helping you with registration, with your degree plans, with any kind of thing like that you need, other duties as the SACPAC, the testing, all that sort of thing. Ms. Irving basically is responsible for getting us real-time coach through the grad, if possible. She will also be doing a lot of the administrative school side of the work, the records that we have to support as far as the school is concerned. I will still be working with NCRA and with the Bexar County Court Reporters and TCRA to make sure that we take advantage of all the things that are available for us. We always let you know when there are scholarships available. Guys, these scholarships go begging because people won't do what they ask them to do. Sometimes it's just something simple like writing a little essay. How hard can that be? Seriously. And those scholarships are up from $1,500 to sometimes $5,000. And because we are a recognized and approved NCRA school, we get those scholarships also. So don't think they're not for you. They're for anybody, okay? We are also still affiliated with Project Steno. Some of you are members of Project Steno. And so there are scholarships available through them also. BCCRA gives 2 $500 scholarships every Christmas, I think it is, about that time. There are different criteria for that, but those are things that are really going begging. So please, when we tell you, Ms. Gunter will I always tell her, and she always puts it out on Canvas, and we try to put it on Wiki also, that there's a scholarship available. Take advantage of that, and we can give you the details for that. Do you have any questions about that so far, about anything I've said? We're all working together to better this program. And so I'm excited about it. I want you to be excited about it. I didn't choose the theme of an animal this time. As you can see on there, I chose this, the iceberg. And you probably have seen this before. And it's been posted on Facebook and other places too, but this will be what will be on the cover of every SACPAC. And so what everybody sees, your success is what people see up here. But look at everything that goes into that success. It takes a great deal of discipline. It takes a great deal of hard work, dedication, your sacrifice, your persistence, and even your failure. But don't consider it to be failure. Fall forward, okay? You are falling forward. Even though you may not pass that test, even though you may have been extremely close, be positive. And I think that's the word that I have for you more than anything else, is to keep a very, very positive attitude. Now, I want us to think about taking small steps and making big changes. Small steps, big changes. Most babies don't take off running. They learn to roll over, and they do the little push-up thing, get their tummy off the ground. They start crawling, they walk, and then they maybe run. Most babies just don't start running. So it's the same thing for us. Your small step and your goal is that you want to become a court reporter. That's your goal. That's why you're here. Am I right? Everybody? Yes? Okay. Speak to me. Yes? Okay. So, let's make sure that we just don't let our daily habits become what our routine is. Now, what I mean by that is we all have a routine. We get up at a certain time, we do this, we do that, we do something else. How many of you have ever gotten in your car and gone from point A to point B and don't remember passing point anything in between? Yeah. I remember a time I used to have to drive back and forth from Austin when I was the corporate representative for an association in high school. And I drove back and forth from Austin like once every week on the weekends, yes. And I remember one time I was just driving along and all of a sudden I was in New Braunfels and I didn't even remember going through San Marcos, you know, because it was routine and it was habit. So let's not make, I mean, it's great to set goals, but let's not make our daily habits just routine. There's a quote I'm going to put in the sack pack when I put the first one out. Successful people do consistently what other people do occasionally. Now think about that a minute. Successful people do consistently what other people do occasionally. So I'm going to say, let's not set a bunch of big goals. I know you want to be court reporters. That's a huge goal. Some of you are just starting on that journey. But let's do some little things that can lead to our success. So let's set some systems in place. Not just routine things, but some systems in place. So what I mean by that is to have maybe three practical ideas and things that you can do to create a new discipline in your life. For example, first one would be to make it obvious, okay? You're not going to practice on your machine if it's sitting out in your car overnight. You have to set it up at home too, right? You have it here, but you have to set it up at home too. You leave it in your car one night, you'll leave it in the car the second night. Hopefully you don't leave it in a truck where it gets stolen, because that has happened before. People don't know what they are. They're going to grab them and try to go to the pawn shop, you know. You get $5 for it. You've paid $1,500 for it, you know. You know what I'm saying? So, create your new discipline. First of all, make it obvious. It has to be visual. You have to have that visual cue, because sometimes we get very busy, and if we don't have that machine staring at us, literally staring at you, I have known some students that have put it where they kind of almost ran over it, and then remembered, oh yeah, I haven't practiced today, you know. So make it obvious, make it visual. Then the second thing is make it easy. Make it easy on yourself. Don't say, oh, I haven't practiced, so I'm going to sit here and practice for 6 hours. That is non-productive. 6 hours just pounding away is not going to be productive. It's not. Your body's not going to be able to handle that at an early stage. So make it easy for yourself. Section it out. And we have all kinds of help on the wiki and all kinds of help around you to help you figure out how to section those things off and how to just chew a little bit at a time. If we put the whole steak in our mouth at one time, you're going to choke. Okay? So don't do that. And then the third little hint is make it consistent. Whatever your system is, make it consistent and customize it to fit your needs. Now, we all know that life gets in the way. We all have obligations outside of school. We all have things that we have to do. I will have to admit to you that this last year was the most horrible year in my entire life that I can remember in a long time. Seriously. There were absolutely 3 or 4 earth-shattering events that happened in my life, starting off with that wonderful wreck that I had in February, or I didn't have. This lady ran into me. It was traumatic. And I was really hurt more seriously than I ever let any of y'all know. But that was that. There was just some other life-changing events that happened. So we all have life events that happen. And we all have situations that come into our lives. But let's just approach it and realize it is what it is, okay? And welcome, Tanya.
Thanks. Did I come in at the right time?
You came in just perfect. Perfect timing. So anyway, set those small steps. Remember, success, if you are going to be a success, successful people do consistently what other people do occasionally. I can want a body like a weightlifter or something like that. I can wait, but if I don't go to the gym and if I don't watch what I eat and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to look like I look now. It isn't going to magically happen. So you have to work through those things. Okay? Now, we know that we have drops and we have plateaus and we have times that we need help. We have the advantage of having people on our staff, and particularly Ms. Irvin will be delighted to, at any point where you reach a plateau or have a problem and want her to look at your notes or evaluate your writing or do anything like that, she will be more than willing to help you with that. But you've got to communicate that. And don't be embarrassed. If you need help, you need help. We all need help. We need each other. And we have this available for you. And she's very graciously offered her services to you. So I want to make you very well aware that we have people. Lisa can do the same thing. She'll be busy doing what she's doing. We're all busy doing what we're doing, but we're there to help you. Now, with that in mind, I want to tell you that being positive is going to be your number one goal. I don't know of any one person in this world that I think of as being more positive than the lady that just walked in here. Tanya is fighting some battles herself. She has had issues herself, but I have never...
You can tell them. It's no secret.
No, it's okay. It's all right. You can tell them, because I'll let you talk in a minute. It's no secret how positive she stays. And I think being positive is what gets you over these difficult periods of time in your life. I also want to tell you that in being positive, I really expect us, we are a family, okay? We have a new chair, an interim chair. In case you don't know that, it doesn't really matter to you particularly, except that we'll be dealing with another person. He gets us totally. He understands the program. But with that, he said too with us, communication is vital. We have to communicate with each other to help each other out. And so one of the things is to just focus on what you need to do, stay positive in what you need to do, get help if you need help. The Bexar County Court Reporters Association is a great mentoring opportunity. Get plugged in. Tanya's going to talk to you about that in just a minute. Get plugged in with them. Networking is so extremely, extremely important. I do want to tell you that every person that we have here to help you on our faculty is qualified to do what they do, okay? The college vets people in different ways with degrees and things like that, but everybody has gone through NCRA training. Most of the people, well, all of the people on our faculty are either RPRs, CSRs, or CRIs. And if you don't know what a CRI is, that's a Certified Reporter Instructor that is certified from the national organization. We could not have gotten to be an approved school with NCRA if we didn't have that qualification. So please don't think that somebody is not qualified. Everybody is qualified to do what they're doing, okay? So don't breed any negativity that way, pitting one person against another in faculty or among students, okay? It just does not need to be that way. Let's help each other, let's communicate, and let's move forward. Now I want to let Ms. Irving say a bit of what she wants to
Thank you.
talk to you about, and then I'll let Tanya, and then we'll go back to Canvas.
Okay, well, just very simply, I think Pat covered almost everything like she usually does, which is fantastic. I'm excited to be coordinating with her equally, very excited to do that. I am also able to register and help you with any questions you have about the degree plans, to guide you and lead you, do all of those things. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a thing going on with my voice. I'm not sure if you've noticed or not, maybe I'm just paranoid.
It's called cedar.
Well, that too. So I started off with bronchitis, but now it's just kind of, I don't know when I'm going to lose it. But I also wanted to add a couple of things that, number one, I'm excited that we're going to have a room that's available to you, online students. They can still hear me, right? So online students, just for extra support, we're going to make room 301 available to you. But it's for everyone, in class, online, and that means that after noon, every day, after noon, N-O-O-N, noon, it will be available for you. I'd like for that to become a room where you can partner together and read back, help each other, support each other. We're going to get really, really detailed. I'm going to provide some snacks in there even. Of course, I know you guys will be really good about cleaning up after yourself. So just want it to be a place where you can go and we're going to figure out a way for you, if you're looking for somebody to read back with or to help or to partner up or even a mentor. We'll just include Tanya in there with her group of people from BCCRA. If you're looking for a mentor or a partner, just depending on what you're looking for, we want to make it available to you. That room will be open until what time, Pat? We don't close until 9 o'clock.
To 9.
Yeah. So extra help. And if you have some ideas or if you have some things that you would like to talk about or suggestions, let me know, because I want to know what it is that you are in need of. Okay? It's really important that you communicate and let
Would
us
it
know.
also be available on Thursday if they wanted to come here and test?
Sure.
Yes. Correct. Good idea. Yes, it'll be kind of the extra room for anything like
Okay.
that. Yeah. So that I hope that's a really important.
Did you have a question, Maureen?
Just wanted to make sure that it was available on the evening.
Yes, it'll be open until
Yes.
9. It's not
Yes.
going to be staffed, okay?
Cool.
No, there's no staff. Because we just don't have anybody
Right.
that has those kinds of hours that can do that. But I'm sure periodically from time to time, Tanya and her group, all of the court reporters are so good to just come up anytime we ask them to or anytime they just want to. And so I'm sure sometimes they can come up and talk to anybody that's there. It'll be available in the afternoon also. Did you have a question?
On Thursday morning, can it be available in the
Yes.
morning?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just not
Yes.
Monday through Wednesday till noon,
Right.
because there'll be a class in there until noon.
There's a class in there on every day except Thursday.
Right.
Yeah, right, I'm just
And
thinking
Friday.
Thursday, I've gotta be here anyway, and so.
Yeah.
Thursday's perfect. You could
Right.
come in and use it. Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So we're going to call it the Connect Zone Room.
Yeah, we're calling it the Connect
Had a
Zone.
great, that was the name she came up with, and so I think that's a great idea. I want to tell you that, to reiterate what she said about notes or tutoring you, guys, it's a painful process sometimes, so you need somebody to come along beside you and help you. It's not anything shameful. I remember hitting a couple plateaus in school, and it was awful. It was really, really awful. I just felt like I was never going to get past it. Sometimes they can last a long time. So just know that as long as you're still practicing and you're still, you're not giving up, one day it will happen. It does help if you have somebody. I really didn't have a lot of support, so I think that's even more so why I'm passionate about giving you support, because it makes it so much easier when somebody can come along beside you and say, oh, look, it's the endings you're having trouble with, or maybe you're getting a little confused when you hear a lot of the then. It slows your rhythm down and really can mess with your dictation. So just know that we are here that we can tutor and look at your notes, and I feel like that is something that I really want you to feel comfortable with if you feel like you're struggling in any way, or just to talk. If you have some questions about anything related to that. The evening speed classes, we were trying to make that 80 to 100. Of course, it only applies to those of you at that speed or at the higher speeds. We don't have, for that reason, we do not, just because we don't have enough students that come to the evening classes that are speed students. So I have some that just, we have some that just really feel like they've been left out. So it's not that at all, it's just that we do not have enough students. So we're trying to make that class 80 to 120. That way, at least you will hear some dictation if you're in a higher speed, 140, 160. At least you will hear some 140 dictation. Does that make sense for you in higher speeds? So I just wanted to tell you that. And for my procedures and my technology class, I'm hoping to be on the wiki. Right now, I am not on the wiki, but it's just some things that we need to tweak and fix. So if you're looking, if you're online or in class and you're looking for those classes, just stay connected. I will communicate with you as soon as I can. I think that is, do you have any questions?
Barbara,
Paul?
you had your hand.
Yes, how are we going to have access to 301 when there's not an instructor in there?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
How are they going to get the room unlocked, 301?
It'll just need to stay unlocked, I guess. Pat, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we'll just leave it unlocked if people are utilizing it in the afternoons and everything, and then come in early at night. I think it could just stay unlocked, and then Rick will be in here at night, and so he can lock it up on the way out. And there's not that much in there that, I mean, there are a few computers and stuff that can be lifted, but there's not that much stuff that hopefully we would see somebody walking out of here with a big school computer, you know. But there's not much in there really, so I think we'll just leave it open, Barbara. Just when you finish with your class, just leave it open. And I'm hoping now, of course, some of you can stay, like if you're high speed, you can stay in 311. We don't use that room in the afternoon for much, and so if you want to stay in there, you're certainly able to stay in that room, or if you want to move over to 301 and be together, that's fine too. I just hope you'll take advantage of this. We want to try this. And just as she mentioned, we're going to make a little bit of a change for our start for the 80 to 120 class at night. The teacher has not been totally vetted yet through the procedure, and as Lisa can tell you, it is a procedure to get hired around here.
Yes, it
It takes months. Believe it or not, it takes months. And it's unbelievable.
6 months.
6 months for our.
It took her 6 months,
Hey,
yeah.
it took me a year and a half.
And it took her a year and a half. So, I mean, the procedure is
And
just,
I'd already been vetted once.
yeah, I know. It's just crazy. It's really nuts about how all the pieces have to come together. But anyway, Cecilia Nethery is going to be your teacher at night in that 80 to 120 class. She is a former court reporter. She is also a student because she'd like to recertify again. And so,
Finish up.
oh, I thought you were through.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
By the way, she just retired as an official downtown Bear County. So Sachi Nagao is currently an official court reporter downtown. So you've got some real current people, which is awesome. All I wanted to add is that I'm going to put my name and my room number and my cell phone number. I'll put my office number in there, but really the best way to reach me is to text me on my cell and say, can you talk, or if you need to talk, or just text me whatever it is that you need or question that you have, okay? Any other questions about? Okay.
All right, Tanya,
Do I need to come up there?
if you want to be on
Whatever you're
camera,
comfortable with.
if you want to be on camera so they can see, well, but they need to.
You want to sit or stand? Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
My name's Tanya Thompson. I am a certified shorthand reporter, just like Lisa is. I started at Texas Tech and ran out of money and ended up here, which was the biggest blessing that I've ever had. I've been a reporter for 26 years. It's so nice to see so many great faces. A little bit more about me, and then I want to get back to you because both are related. I don't want to disclose a lot of privacy, but I'll disclose it about myself. I am just recovering from breast cancer. I found a lump at 11 months. And so I want to tell you this related to that. Breast cancer is easy compared to court reporting. Getting through school is harder than doing chemotherapy and radiation. So
I told you she was positive.
we walked in your footsteps, and it's tough. It's tough, but we made it, and we put our pants on the same way y'all do. So if we can do it, you can do it. You can do it, and we really need you to do it because we need more certified shorthand reporters. we're getting too old and getting a little bit more gray or losing our hair at this point. So we definitely need you. This field is lucrative, and we are fighting for your profession. Technology cannot do it. My husband was an IT guy at USAA for 38 years, and even though he read the journal every time it came in before I even got to it, he still did not understand how artificial intelligence is not intelligence. You need a body in the seat for accountability and to have a certified record. So that's why it takes us to make this happen. So as great as technology is, it can only assist us, and we cannot allow it to replace us because it certainly can't. This program is great, but without you making the effort and putting in the time, it will not work. I learned that the hard way because I thought you could just memorize everything and osmosis would just kick in, and you know, you could memorize a whole jury charge, right? Well, I thought that was true. You actually do have to practice, and Sarah Murphy brought that to our attention when she stated something so obvious that even a virtuoso pianist as she is, I play piano, but of course I never practiced for that either, and that's why I'm not a virtuoso. Practice is important. It's hard when they say practice, 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 because objection vague. We can tell you what worked for us. I know I didn't practice until the high-speed class, and that's why it took 5 years to get out. Please don't do that. Please, you know, learn what works for you. If you're a visual learner, if you're an audio learner, you know, you've got to find out what your weaknesses are to make them your strengths. So that is really important. You can get out if you don't practice, but I really don't recommend it. It really takes a long time, and it's just grueling. So don't do it like that. Definitely reach out to your instructors. I know that the instructors that I had are still lifetime friends. Because we communicated and we were in a room and we spent our lives together. So it is really important, and even though maybe you don't see eye to eye and you know maybe they're giving you some tough love, we all have the same goal, and that is for you to cross the finish line. That being said, so far as the mentorship program that BCCRA has, we just had a new year start, so the powers that be, I don't know. I'm sure that they still have the mentorship in place and can get you assigned, but go to a meeting and see if, you know, you hit it off with somebody and ask if they would be your mentor, and then you guys can be assigned to each other. But you're more than welcome on any of our Facebook pages to also reach out and, you know, see what somebody's dialogue is, and, you know, if you have that funny sarcasm, you know, click with them, or, you know, they're very relatable. Just ask. So far as that's fine. There's some forms up here. So far as the Court Reporters Association in Bexar County, your membership is free. And so the meetings are always on the second Thursday, which this coming February will be on the 13th. So right before Valentine's Day. But the forms are here if you want to fill those out. Ms. Woodard can pass those on to the president. And then also, one thing that I am involved with a little more closely is the Texas Court Reporters Association. I'm the membership chair, and we've got those forms up here. That is not free. For future reporters, that's $44 a year. but we've got a mid-year conference going on in Corpus. If you sign up, we're doing it just until the 25th. We've got a drawing to where you could win your registration to the Corpus mid-year convention. So if you want to get in that drawing to possibly win that, that only went from the 1st of January when we officially started our new year until the 25th. So there's probably a small little number compared to the number of members that TCRA has, but you can get in that drawing. TCRA is amazing. The seminars that they put on, the Denton convention is going to be great, and that's in July. That's a really good way to get connected and to network and to get people working for you and to get your name out there. Many people have gotten their first job because they were in these associations and got to know somebody that worked for a firm and, you know, got the endorsement. So definitely something to think of. NCRA as well. Our national convention for NCRA is in Orlando this year, and that's in August, and that's going to be a lot of fun. But so far as getting connected, we do have a local Future Reporter page. It's called San Antonio Elite Future Reporters. And so if you ask to join, you know, any of the admins will click you in, and you'll get to see what's going on in San Antonio, how many jobs, you know, we're not being able to cover. A lot of times we'll post jobs, hey, can somebody cover this for tomorrow? Can somebody cover this for next week? So you'll get to see, and also there's some bonuses out there, you know, when they're looking for somebody. So you can see what the need is. Also, I'm an admin on a page that I created called Elite Future Reporters. And that is not just the San Antonio reporters or those that come to San Antonio, but it's future reporters from all over the nation and overseas even, and it also includes our future reporters. So you've got reporters and future reporters being able to add information on that. Anything that you guys need, you know, I'll give you my cell number, and you know, please check out those Facebook pages because we do share a lot of information that way. There is also a page for the BCCRA. So if you Google BCCRA on Facebook, it should pop you to that. And if you need to know when the meetings are, where the meetings are, any information that's any information that's being shared through the association, you can get it through there. So, any questions? Great. Glad y'all are here.
Thank you, Tanya. And just usually you may have been missing some snacks this morning because usually the court reporters do come up on our first day back and first night back and bring snacks and greetings and all that sort of thing. It's been a little complicated getting things going this time, and so they told me the other day, I think Tanya, you even told me, that during court reporting and captioning week, they plan on coming up.
Oh, did they not do anything today?
They didn't do anything today,
Okay.
but they said
Yeah, I didn't know
that they would wait until court reporting and captioning week, which is in February, to come up and be with us and provide snacks and do all that sort of thing. So if you're missing the snacks, well, they will be coming, but it's not today, okay? I will tell you that also the A to Z program, many of you started with the A to Z program, and it is still in operation and still going strong. They will start their first class next Tuesday, and I think they have almost 45 to 46 people enrolled in that, which is always a great thing for us because I think that's one of the reasons we get. How many of you were in A to Z? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I know that's just what we have here. It is just it's an amazing program, and it helps you decide whether this is what you want to do. Okay. Any questions? Because I know Joy has a lot to tell you about Canvas. Please don't think that you know, oh, I know Canvas, so I'm not going to pay any attention to her. She's got some very critical things to tell you, some things that are going to be very important. We are making a few changes here and there, and so please listen to her. Any other questions or anything that anybody would like to Let's give a big round of applause. Welcome, Lisa. I've known Lisa for a long time and didn't know I knew Lisa for a long time. She and I worked together at Zachary years and years and years ago, and I remember her now. I don't know if you remember. Her hair was a little different than Lisa. Mine was, but anyway. And my name was different. So, but anyway, she's got a wealth of experience for us. We're so excited. Sachiko will be a great addition tonight, and so will Cecilia. So we have a couple more in the works, and so we're growing, and we're excited about our growth, and just want you guys to stay focused, stay positive. Don't let the buzzards drag you down. Fly with the eagles. All right? All right?
Stay above the water.
Stay above the water. Don't breathe underwater like I do sometimes. Okay? It doesn't work. All right? Any questions, anything? All right. We're going to turn this over to Joy to talk to you now about Canvas. Again, please pay attention to that because this is our learning management system and this is what we are having to go to for everything. So if you don't understand it, if you have any questions about it, I think most of you have figured out the wiki, which is separate, but Canvas is a whole nother beast. And so I want her to explain that to you guys and anything new that we're going to do on Canvas. Any questions? Anything for us?
And I just wanted to let my class know that it's the end of theory and the beginning of 4060. She has graciously said that she will come back to our class specifically to help us before we begin our testing in a month.
Yeah.
So listen today, but we'll have a refresher also.
Oh, that's great. And also, just while I'm thinking that probably the afternoon class will not meet. So if you're in the 100, 120 on up, what is it? 120 up or? Yeah. That class probably will not meet today, and legal terminology will not meet today. Okay. So we'll start everything full force tomorrow and go from there. Yes. I'm sorry? 8:30 to 11:50. Okay.
My online classes, we will not be meeting today yet either.
Yeah.
Not that they're going to see this on time. The procedures and also the technology class.
Yeah.
So those will not be, we'll start up tomorrow, okay?
Matthew? Do what now? I didn't hear you.
Was that your question?
What about the online? Oh, well, online will be online, and so, and also we're going to Zoom. So get the Zoom number from, and my Zoom stays the same. If you were with me last semester, my Zoom number stays the same. Each person will have their own little Zoom number, and which leads me to this. Attendance is critical. We've kind of, I have to be very admitting to the fact that we've kind of let it go a little bit, and we have not, we've taken roll, but we've not really done the follow-up on the discipline part of the fact if you are taking a few more days than you should. We've been kind of lenient and kind of understanding and all that sort of thing. I think the college expects us to do better than that. I know they do. They expect us to do better than that. There is a standard that the college has about your attendance. Now, because you are with us in an everyday thing, which is different than most college classes, that number can vary a little bit. And of course, we will listen to you if you communicate that you have a situation or a problem. But with Zoom being available, with the recordings being available, there is no reason for you to miss anything. If you miss it, you're missing it because you want to miss it, which is not a real good thing to do, okay? You're going to have access to everything that we have. You're going to be able to, if you cannot make a class physically, you can Zoom in, and that counts as attendance, all right? They are letting us count Zoom as attendance. So,
We can also see when they're on the wiki.
and we can also see when you're on the wiki. So if you don't think we don't know what you're doing, we do know what you're doing. We can tell if you've been on wiki or not. We can tell if it's been a long time since you've been on wiki, which means you're not getting the daily lectures or the daily dictations. You're not getting any of the extra work and everything. We see all that. So we just haven't been very forceful about calling you out on it. But I think we have an obligation to you to help you and to help you work through these problems if you have situations where you're not doing what you need to be doing, okay? This is a college class. Even though it's very specialized and very different, we're still a college class. And the college has expectations for us to do. And we have to answer in our reports and things. We have to answer to them on, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do something else? Okay? So let's just all work together. Let's be positive. Let's work together. Let's encourage each other. Let's not let negativity come in any way. Yes, you're going to get down. Yes, you're going to cry. Yes, you're going to want to throw your machine out of the 20th story building. And you probably want to go after it. You know, there's going to be times. It's going to be that kind of a journey. It's a roller coaster ride or a Ferris wheel. I don't like Ferris wheels because I used to get up there on the top and be with some silly boy that would decide he wanted to rock it till I thought it was going to totally fall around. And I'm scared of them. Okay? But this is like what it is. It's just, you know, and sometimes we feel like that little hamster in the cage. We're going as fast as we can, but we're not seeing that progress. Progress will come, Tanya just said. She didn't do a whole lot of practicing until she got serious about it. There's a lot of, I know some other court reporters that way, till they really got serious about it. And when they got serious about it, they got out of here. I believe everybody can do this if you put in the time, if you do your due diligence. But we can't do it for you. We can only offer you so much. We can be here for you, we can support you, we can encourage you, we can help you, but we can't do it for you. And if you decide to walk out every day and then leave that machine in your car and then come back tomorrow expecting it to be better, it isn't going to be better. It just isn't. What is that old saying that if I don't practice one day, I know it? No. Yeah, I know it. If I don't practice 2 days, somebody else knows it. If I don't practice for a week, everybody knows it. Okay. And that's just kind of the way it is. This does require building that muscle memory, getting that practice time in, repeating, repetition, doing it correctly. Okay. Any other questions? All right, I'm going to turn it over to Joy and let her go through Canvas with you.
It doesn't need to see me, it needs to see the screen.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right, on your handout, did everybody get a handout? If you don't have a handout, there's some right here. Get one. We've already gone through the wiki, so I'm assuming that there are no questions about the wiki. So we're gonna move on to the Canvas part. This is what your Canvas main page looks like. You get to Canvas through ACES. If you don't know how to get to Canvas, I'll show you that in a minute. This is what your screen will look like when you first go into Canvas. The class that we're talking about is CRTR 1291-002. This is your speed building class. There is nothing else on here except speed building. What I'm going to do this morning is go through each one of the assignments that are on this page and explain why we need them and how they affect your grade. Over here on the far left, you're going to see some links that take you to some other places. The most important one here I'm going to talk about last is the inbox. But if you have never used Canvas, go to the Student Quick Guide and follow that and look at it. It's a little video that shows you how to use Canvas. It's probably going to have some information in it that you don't need, but just watch it anyway. Don't go to the technical support. If you need technical help, call me. If I can't figure it out, I'll go to them, because if you go to technical support, you don't get SAC technical support, you get Canvas National Technical Support, and that's a whole different ballgame. Okay, so don't go to technical support. But there are some student resources. There's some other things there that can help you. Just skip the technical support. If you run into a technical problem, let me know, and then I'll tell you if you need to go there, but usually you won't. Most of the most important stuff on this page is right here. There is a text that you should read, especially if this is your first time to use Canvas. Hopefully I got all the dates changed and everything. It tells you that this is a 16-week course. It tells you that the 16th week is just a test. But other than that, it talks to you about sending me an email. If this is your first semester to use Canvas, please send me an email. Again, I'm going to go back into the email at the end of, that's the last thing on the list, but send me an email so that I know that you're in the right class. As of right this minute, I don't have everybody in there, so you may not can see this until later on this morning. Later on today, hopefully I'll have everybody in here. This particular class, you should see this picture when you sign up for the, click onto the Canvas. It also has a link here to the wiki. It also has a link to the NCRA Code of Ethics and some NCRA grams. Those are some things that NCRA requires us to put on there. There's some information there for you about and regarding NCRA. Announcements, if you click there, you will see announcements. I have put up 2 announcements already. One of these announcements was already here. It's a free offer to Dictionary Jumpstart. I don't know who put that there. It's been there for a while. I put in an announcement about the spring schedule telling you that testing was going to be on Thursday rather than Wednesday, which is new this year. I put up an announcement about night students. If there is an announcement there, it may or may not apply to you. I will try to put in the headline who it applies to. The class schedule applied to everybody, obviously. The night class time or date to start only affected night students. So if you're not a night student, you could have ignored that one. On Canvas, one of the unique things about Canvas is, go to assignments. On assignments, it's going, if the first thing it's going to show you is please read the instruction for each assignment. Oh, this is not in order. You want to show by type. That's how you get it put in order. Up here it defaults to show by date. Click show by type first. It tells you here to always sort by type. That's what we're talking about right here. All right. I am going to do something different this semester than I've ever done before. I am going to actually put due dates on the assignments, which will help this. It won't totally eliminate it, but it will help it. It puts these things in logical sequence. These are the things that show up first. Later on, these things will move each week. Each week, I put the current week at the top of the page. Read the instructions for each assignment. Every single assignment that I give you on Canvas has the instructions in it. Every assignment has the instructions, exactly what to do for that assignment. Okay? There's no reason not to know what to do for an assignment. This is some forms that you may or may not need access to. You will know when your Eclipse contract is running out. It's a year at a time. It has to be renewed every year. When they send you a message from Eclipse telling you that your contract is about to expire, that means you need to do a new contract. There is a copy of the contract there that you can download, fill it out, and resubmit it back into this assignment. I will see the resubmission. I will then take the contract and submit it to Eclipse, and then you're done. Alternatively, if you want to submit it directly to Eclipse yourself, you can do that. That's your choice, but this is an option for how to get your assignment submitted. Okay? If you need to renew your assignment, if you've never filled, I don't think anybody has never filled out one. I think you do that as a part of your theory class. But if you have not filled out one, you have to fill out one before you get access to it. But every semester, sometime, or every year, sometime during the year, not every semester, every 12 months, your contract will expire. So pay attention to when it tells you, and they will tell you, they will notify you. So pay attention when they tell you that it has expired or it is getting ready to expire. Usually you have a window of 30 days or so. Send that new contract and I will automatically see it. You don't even have to tell me that you've done it. I will automatically see it. Information sheet, again, if you have never filled one of these out, this is your name, address, phone number, personal email, anything else on there that might or might not apply to you. That's for our department information. Nobody sees that but us here in the department. And basically, I just have it on file in case it comes up that somebody, one of your instructors needs it. I do not give it out to anybody other than another instructor. If you have never filled one out, please do so and resubmit it back into this assignment. It is not a required assignment. If you've already done one, if you did one last semester or the semester before, I've still got it, don't worry about it. But if you've never filled one out, it would be helpful for us to have it on file. Practice sheet, you're going to see this in a couple of places, and I'm going to talk about it again in a minute. That's just a copy of the practice sheet. That's for your use each week, and I'm going to talk about that when I get to the assignments. Testing forms, again, you're going to see these again. This is the form that you use, what I call a cover sheet. You're going to hear me say, where's your cover sheet? You've got to have a cover sheet, cover sheet, cover sheet. There's your cover sheet right there. This is a document that kind of generically says what is an error. It's not all encompassing. It's a snapshot of what might be what the most common errors are. There are other things that can be counted as an error, but that's a PDF giving you some generic information about what an error might be. This is an error percentage chart. If you want to download it and keep it by your computer, you can. If you don't worry about it. I'm going to figure your percentage. But you need to know whether you think you've got a pass or not when you submit your test. So that gives you an idea. 40 words per minute is not on this chart. 40 words per minute is not on this chart, but everything above 60 and above is on there. All right, back to assignments. Important information. This is telling you simply that Canvas has an app. You can put it on your smartphone, you can put it on your iPad, or whatever device you have, you should do that. If you do that, then any messages that you get or that I send will come to your phone when I send them. When I grade your test, it'll send you a message, your test was graded. If I update or post a new assignment, it'll give you a message that this assignment was posted. All you have to do is download it from, and it's pretty self-explanatory how to do it. Just find it in the mine looks different than yours. It looks just exactly like what you see on the screen. You can even do assignments from there. It'll say student. There'll be a student option and a teacher option. Yours will be red, mine's white.
The course you're showing is for a different,
Speed building.
a speed building one, because it's not a course I'm registered in. Right.
You're not taking speed building?
I am, but
She's
46
finishing theory and then we're gonna start 46.
You will be in there when I get through this afternoon.
Okay.
Some of you are not in here yet, but there's a process that I have to go through with each teacher to make sure I get their classes in there, and then ultimately all speed builders will be in here. And if you are in that situation with her class, particularly if you're at 40 words a minute and this is your first time, you're not finished with theory, you're going to finish your theory and then we're going to start testing, you're going to get to ignore everything this semester. I mean the first 4 weeks in Canvas. And then I'm going to come and meet with you again and get you ready, and you're going to start using Canvas. That's why you're sitting here watching what I'm doing now. But you can still do the app, and you can still do some of these other things. You won't see it yet. You'll see it later today.
Canvas student, right?
Canvas student, correct. And then you have to find the school, which I think is listed as Alamo Colleges. It might be SAC, but I think it's Alamo Colleges. All right, then you have information about CSR testing. That may or may not be accurate, but it will be a link to where the accurate information is. That information updates periodically, and I rely on somebody else to give me the updates. If I don't have the updates, I can't put them there, but there is generic information there that will help you know what to look for, and it has access to the website that has the current information. And by current information, I mean dates and that sort of thing. Degree and certificate worksheets, that's just for your information as far as this course is, your program is concerned, not just speed building, but your court reporting program to get you out of here, to get you where you need to be. They work with these documents when you register. Mrs. Woodard and Mrs. Irving both have access to these documents that are geared specifically for you and what you've done. That's how you make sure you've taken all the coursework you need to take to get where you need to be. There is a grading rubric in here. The grading rubric is going to tell you how we grade, basically. Our grading for speed building is done, I can't go here. I can't go here. Yes, I can. All right. It's telling you how we grade. Basically, you have to pass tests to get an A in speed building. This is not any other class. This is just speed building. In speed building, if you don't pass tests, whatever class you're enrolled in, if you're enrolled in the 100 testimony class, if you don't pass 2 tests at 100 during the semester, you will not make an A in that class. Now you can make a B or a C depending on what else you've done in that class. But to get an A, you have to get to 120 if you're enrolled in 100. If 100 is the exit speed for the class you're enrolled in, you've got to get to 120. You don't have to pass 120, but you have to get to 120 to get an A. That's basically what this page is telling you. Okay? It's a very simplistic method, but there's some other things involved. Most work submitted, passed test twice. Partial work submitted, passed 1 test. That's basically, and what I mean by most tests submitted is the other assignments that we're going to talk about in a minute. Where was I? Grading rubric. NCRA Code of Ethics, there's that again. This is a video of a guest speaker that is not current but is relevant. NCRA Grams is there. How to save an Eclipse file as a PDF. You're going to need to know that. I'm not going to click on it right now, but just know that you're going to need to know that. And I'll show you why in a minute. There it is, but it's also on the wiki under the Eclipse column in the link that I showed you. That's one of the links that's there. Practice reminders. This is a document that Ms. Irving created that gives you some ideas about practice time, how to use your practice time. It's worth downloading and looking at. If you're new to speed building, this is kind of a heads up. This is what's going to happen. And I need to look at that. I may need to do some updating to that, and I will. Testing how to. This is how to take a test. I'm going to go over that in a minute. How to submit a Friday and/or a Blitz test. I'm going to go over that in a minute. This is a STENED dictionary that was created somewhere along the line that may or may not be helpful to you. I don't use that for anything. That's just there for you. If you want it, use it. If you don't, don't. And there's some information about the wiki, and I gave you that handout how to access the wiki. All right, then we come to week 1. Each week, this is what you will see. And each week will be numbered, weeks 1 through 16. These are the items that you will see each week. With the exception of 4, 8, and 12, there will be an assignment for each day of the Blitz test. Week 1, SAC Pack. Now, obviously, we're not going to have a SAC Pack this week, but if there were a SAC Pack, you would click here and there would be a link to a PDF document that you would then download and print if you wanted a print copy of it. You can either print it or save it to your computer, whichever you prefer. Most people print them out and use them to practice with. That comes usually on Friday, sometimes Saturday. Whatever day they get it ready, they send it to me and I upload it to Canvas either Friday night or Saturday morning. Usually, it's almost always there by Saturday morning. That way you can get a head start on the following week. Most of the instructors are going to use that material that's in there at the beginning of the week. Some of them go into other stuff later on in the week because there's not enough there to last them all week, depending on what speed you're in. But you will probably use it completely. You have enough there to do the whole week, probably. You've probably got 3 days worth of dictation there because you're going to divide it up into sections and just use part of it each day. But when you get up to the 120s and the 140s, then you have to go into add some extra stuff to it. And it's the teacher's discretion. If they don't want to use that in the class, they don't have to. But this gives you something to practice with, and you can begin your practice as soon as I get it uploaded. All right, and then PC Mock Notes. Look at your handout. Now we're into the testing. When you take a test, you're going to download the test from the wiki, take the test, and you're creating your notes, your Eclipse notes. I want one page only. I don't need the whole thing. I need to see a page of your Eclipse notes because they've got a timestamp on them. You are only allowed 1 hour to edit your transcript after you take a test. Don't upload this until you're ready to edit. If you take your test and you can't edit it right that minute, but you're going to edit it a couple hours later, I don't know why you do that, but I've had some people do that, then don't upload this until then. As soon as you're ready to start editing, you upload this. That timestamp tells me what time you took the test, but it also timestamps in Canvas telling me what time you uploaded it. That's when your hour for editing begins. You have 1 hour to edit one test. That means 1 hour for literary if you need it. Then do the same thing for testimony. Do the same thing for jury charge. You've got 1 hour for each test, or a total of 3 hours. If you do one right after the other, then you could just make one upload and do all 3 edits at the same time. I don't know, that's up to you how you do that. But I need to see what time you begin your editing process, and this is what I use to do that with. Does that make sense? I don't need a cover sheet here. I don't need anything on this page but this one sheet of gobbledygook to me. But it's got times on it that I can see. It time-stamped it in Canvas what time you uploaded. Don't upload it after you've already edited your document. It doesn't do me any good then. I don't need to see it then. If you forgot to upload it, then you forgot to upload it. Don't go back and upload it late. Means nothing to anybody at that point. But remember, when you go to take the test, at the state test, you've only got 1 hour to edit that document. And NCRA came up with this as a way for us to verify that you, okay, how do I know you stopped at an hour? You stop when you upload it to Canvas. When you upload your finished document to Canvas, you're also writing it on your cover sheet. There's a little bit of trust involved here. You're also writing your times on your cover sheet. You write down the time you started and you write down the time you stopped. That's your editing time. Not your test taking time, not your grading time, your editing time. Cover sheet's coming up in a minute. Any questions about this assignment? The assignment says PC Mock Notes. PC Mock is the Thursday test. We started calling it that about 5 years ago, and that's what everybody refers to it as. PC Mock, Performance Challenge or Mock. That's your Thursday test only. I don't need this for any other test. I only need it for the Thursday test. Any questions about PC Mock Notes? Don't submit them late. I don't need to see them late. Your next assignment in week 1 is your Thursday test. Your Thursday test consists of the transcript, the complete graded transcript of 3 tests: a lit, a jury charge, and a testimony, and a cover sheet. Next item in your handout. Cover sheet is as important as transcript. Put that in your brains and remember it. Cover sheet is as important as transcript. It's part of the test. All right, line by line. Name. Obviously, I need to know who you are. I need a first name and a last name that I can read. There's a bunch of you and only one of me. Week, very important. What week are you taking here? Is this week 1 or is this week 20? This is week number that you're taking, whatever week it is. We are currently in week 1. There's not going to be a week 1 test, so you'll start with week 2. Date the test was taken. You have access to the test beginning Thursday morning, ending Sunday midnight. Which day did you take your test? It's that simple. I don't need to know which day you were supposed to take the test. I want to know which day you took the test.
You made it out of agreement. Ms. Stewart said there will be a Friday test.
There will be a Friday test. I'll get to that in a minute. This is the Thursday test we're talking about. Only the Thursday test. Date the test was taken. And then you see literary, jury charge, and testimony. And I rearranged these so that literary came first because that's where I have it, the way I have it everywhere else. If you have an old one that has jury charge first, it's okay, you can still use it. I want to know what speed you're testing at. Don't make me have to go look it up or guess. Please tell me. You handwrite this or you put this on your computer and you type it in, but you fill this out. You tell me what speed you took this test at. And you tell me what time you began editing this test. And then you tell me what time you stopped editing this one test. And then ultimately you're going, when I get through talking about grading, you're going to tell me how many errors you think you made. Now, you can skip the pass or don't pass. I'm going to figure that part out. I'm going to look at how many errors you made and what your speed was, and I'm going to know whether or not I need to grade it. But in order to pass a test, you have to score 96% accuracy. If it is 93% or above, I'm going to download that test, print it out, and regrade it. 93 or above. So that's why I need you to tell me how many errors there are there. Because I can look at the number of errors and the speed and decide whether or not I need to regrade that test. Either way, I'm going to give you credit for taking the test, whether you passed or failed. But I need to grade it again if it's 93% or above accuracy, because sometimes you miss something. Sometimes I can give you credit for something that you counted as an error, and it will bump it up. It's happened. If it's 90 or 93 or below, usually that doesn't happen. But 93 and above, it can happen. So be sure you tell me how many errors you have. Do the same thing with each test. Then you're going to have to print out your test or save it to your computer or do something so that you can then submit it to me as a PDF document along with this page. Now, some people do this page separately than the PDF of their transcript because they do it all online. They edit it online. If you're doing that, make sure I can tell what your edits are, making sure I know what you counted as an error. I need to see what you counted as an error right here and on your transcript. Now, on your transcript, if you are doing it by hand, try to leave the right-hand column empty for me. Make your notes over here. If you're marking errors, mark them over here. Don't mark in the right-hand column because I need to write there. That's where I'm used to writing, and if you've written there, then I have to mark out what you wrote so that I remember, so that I don't double count your errors when I'm going back and counting errors. I read it, and I mark it, and then I put the number of errors per line at the end of each line. And so if you leave this line open for me, this margin open for me, that's very helpful to me. Doesn't make or break your test, and it won't count against you if you don't do it, but it's a convenience for me if you will do it. Any questions about the cover sheet? Every single test must have a completed cover sheet. I can't emphasize that enough. If you don't have one, I've got to create one because I've got to have that to write on when I'm creating. Understand that there's 90-something of you and I'm processing all of these tests, and I have to have a way to make my notes so that then I can go back and tell the instructors who passed and who didn't, and I use all that. And then after I'm done, I send it back to you with feedback. You can also make comments to me or comments to yourself at the bottom. And I might make comments back to you and I might not. But just know that that's there and I need to know that. In that assignment, you're going to see, yes you are, you're going to see, now this is telling you that there's not a test this week, but if there were a test, you will upload your complete PC mock, all parts, plus your completed cover sheet, due before Sunday midnight. Only upload a PDF document here. Do not upload photo files. Why not? Well, photo files, if I have to print them out, print out like a photo. And they're very hard to read. I really need you to be able to find a way to do a PDF document. There's all kinds of stuff out there, ways you can do it. Adobe makes great ones, but you have to pay for Adobe. I'm understanding that QPDF might be an option that's free. I haven't used it. I've seen them come through that say QPDF on the bottom. Find a way to make PDFs if you don't already know. And then here's a copy of the instructions, which is the next page that you see in your handout. And I'm not going to go over this line by line, but I want you to, and I want you to ask me if you don't understand anything here. Okay? I'll be around for a while after we're finished here. I'll be in a meeting at 1 o'clock, but other than that, I'll be hanging out probably in Ms. Dean's office with her until our meeting at 1 o'clock. So if you see anything on this sheet that you don't understand, please ask me. This is the Thursday test instructions for everybody. Step by step. Grading. What is grading? When you're grading your test, you've already edited it. You're not listening to the dictation while you're editing, right? You've done your editing, you've made all the changes. You can change whatever you need to change in the editing process. And it does not count against you as long as you stay within that hour. You can put in punctuations, you can change spelling, you can add phrases that you missed, you can correct phrases that you missed, you can do whatever you need to do in the editing process. It does not count as an error in editing. All right? Your time is up. You finished editing, you put your time on your cover sheet, now you're going to grade it. This is a completely different process than editing. Grading means that you now put the headphones back on and you listen to the dictation again. And you read it while you're listening. Any mistake that's still there, you mark it. And that's what counts as an error. And that's what I count as an error. That's how I grade. While I'm grading, I'm listening to the dictation and I'm looking at word for word what you have on your document. And if you've already counted as an error, fine, no problem. If you didn't count it as an error, then I have to add it as an error. If you counted it as an error and it wasn't an error, then I can take that away. So that's what grading means. That part is not timed. If you need 5 hours to do that part, you got it. Not timed. Yes, ma'am. Speak loud. I can barely hear you.
If I did theory online, but no one ever actually walked us through the process of taking a test?
They don't do that in theory. We're going to do that when you get ready for it. Are you in her 40 class? We're going to walk you through that when you're ready for it. Don't stress over it. You're just hearing this now so that it won't be foreign to you that day. All right. Grading is separate from editing. They're two separate processes. Okay? Any questions about that? Everything is detailed on here. When to do what. All right? And then you have a copy of the cover sheet. Remember cover sheet? There it is, right there. So there's no, you can't say I don't have one, because it's there. All right, now go back to assignments. Morning.
Whenever you get around to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here is, after Thursday, the practice log. Skip the next thing, skip back to this sheet right here, the practice log. This is a very simple, basic chart that was created in Word. Create your own or use this one, I don't care. But I want to see how you spent, I don't, they do. But I pass it on to them. We want to see how you spend your time. We want to justify how you have spent your time. And this is especially true if you're not coming on campus and sitting through live dictation. We need to see how you spent your time each week. Not at the end of 6 weeks where you go through and you fill this out 6 weeks at a time, and obviously you've written 6 weeks at a time. That doesn't do you any good. That doesn't do us any good. That doesn't tell us, that doesn't give you accountability. This is not only for accountability, this is for your use. You can go back and look at this if you pass a test and say, wow, what did I do that week that worked? You can go back and look at this and say, what did I do last week that didn't work? All right? Fill it out each day. You should be doing something for this course each day. If it's just reading a journal, put it on here. And this one has minutes. If you want to change that to hours, I don't care. Put whatever works for you. But this is a document that you need to submit every week. My suggestion is you submit it on Sunday night when you submit your test. If you want to submit it Friday, that's okay. Don't submit it Monday because the week has just started. In fact, don't submit anything on Monday. But keep it on a weekly basis. You don't have to use this one. Oh, you people are really creative. I see some really creative ones. One girl uses a pie chart that's really pretty. This doesn't have to be a Word document. It doesn't have to be anything that I can download. It just needs to be something that I can see, that I can say that you did put some effort into this week for your course.
And for our class, since we're finishing theory, they won't submit that until we start speed building.
No,
That's
I
just for
don't.
Speed building.
Your class doesn't. The theory
Okay.
class, the class that is finishing theory and starting, will start testing at 40 in 4 weeks. You don't have to do any of this yet. But at that point, you will do it all. And again, I'll come back and remind you of all this. Any questions about the practice log? My suggestion, if I were doing this and I were a student, I would have this log on my computer or wherever I do my work, right there, and I could just go write something down. I put some time into studying words today. I put some time into practicing testimony today. How much time did I put in? What exactly did I do today? How did I spend my time today? Don't make it a cumbersome thing. And don't wait 6 weeks and try to put in 6 weeks all at once, because it's not going to be of any value to anybody at that point. All right, that's the practice sheet. This one is on there. You can download it and use it, but you don't have to. You can use your own. You can get creative. Be as colorful as you want to be. I like colorful. That's the practice log. Again, that's an assignment that NCRA required of us in order to give us certification. All right, then you have the Friday test. The Friday test is the same but different. On Friday, you will only get one test. This Friday, it'll probably be a lit. She usually starts with lit. You'll get your test, you'll download it, you'll go through the whole process, and this next handout tells you what's different about it. What's different about it is you don't have to submit your notes. I don't need to see your Eclipse notes. You don't have to submit anything except your completed, graded transcript and a cover